Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is June the 22nd, 2024. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a lovely Saturday so far, and I even have company. Andy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Howdy. My name's Andy. I've been friends with our friend Isaiah here for quite a while now, back at the movie theater days.
That's right. That was the trenches for me. Yep. I was in concessions. You were an usher. Mm-hmm. So many movies.
Yeah.
So many movies.
From my point of view, it's the easiest job I've ever had, hands down.
I think you handled it well. Yeah. I think it's one of those things where you can compartmentalize the job and the weirdos and the stuff, and I definitely have some bad flashbacks. I have some times where I had to take five, getting drunk in my break on my break, and then coming back to work the popper so I wouldn't yell at anyone, just to keep the demons on mute.
Trying to.
But yeah, no, that's where we came up from. And then you had sent me that picture of Modest Mouse, the vinyl, and that brought me back because I was like the first big concert that I went to.
Yep.
Yeah. At least it required a road trip and stuff. Yeah, I was like, shit.
It was a Columbus adventure.
Yeah, that was really fucking cool.
Great concert.
Yeah.
We were high as
yeah,
I can't delve into the weed anymore, unfortunately.
You know, sometimes you have to take breaks. Sometimes you have, and sometimes that break is for life. Sometimes it's indefinite. We never know.
The money's good.
There you go. Yeah, you got to do it for the money. Let's see here. So yeah, I mean, seems like you're doing good, right?
Yeah.
No complaints?
So. Not yet.
Not yet. Holding out, pending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like holding up my fort and stuff. Like, I wish I was cooking more.
You're always cooking, and I've told the audience, like, I've regaled them with some of the stories of some of the eating exploits that I've been a part of at your home, abroad.
Yep, I made you Japanese curry.
Yes. We made the burrito tacos.
Birria was really good.
Oh my god.
I would like to revisit that.
Of course.
Again.
That was like one of our first ones. We were like scooping that out of the pan.
That was the first unboxing of my Vitamix.
Yes.
You were there.
I was there with Pog.
And you were like, oh shit, it's a Vitamix.
Yeah, dude.
Yes,
I had never seen that shit before, and I was like, this is the future. I mean, I guess people had been on this for a while, but first time seeing some bougie equipment like that.
I had a part-time job at Sur La Table and had like huge discounts, and then I just upgraded my kitchen after that.
Yeah, that's akin to like my flex at Hot Topic. I like bought all my jewelry that I needed. I was set. I was a hog and shit. But that's all all my money went.
Yeah, I got my Dutch oven. I got this like fancy juicer.
Nice.
That I never use realistically.
But hey, it's good to have a juicer.
Sure.
In times of trouble, or a diet.
Even then, like juicing, It's also really expensive to like buy like
all the ingredients,
the whole giant thing of veggies.
Yeah, the ingredients. People don't talk about that when it comes to the cooking. Like that's why I love the little dinner parties you throw, because you go whole hog, and I never do that. You know.
I just like the vibes. I like I don't know. It's just like the grind. I'm just in the zone. It's just like my element, I guess.
Dude, I really feel like you would be like a bear character, like a character from the show, The Bear. I feel like you would fit into that.
I need to watch that show.
Yeah, that's a vibe for you.
But I am watching Delicious in Dungeon. That's the anime I'm currently power
little
watching.
Anime talk. All right.
It is so like the first few episodes are like really cozy.
Yeah.
They just like go around and like monsters. Like the main character is like. He has his tisms. It's okay. I can say it. I'm autistic.
You can say it. It's fine. It's fine. We're not super PC here. We just talk about maybe like politically correct and incorrect things sometimes.
He's just like, I've always had this fantasy of going around and eating monsters. And then they just happen to meet a character that just cooks monsters as well. And they just delve into the dungeon. Like the first few episodes are like really cozy. And like the food looks really good. And then, like, over time, it, like, gets really intense and, like, really dark. I was like, Jesus Christ, I wasn't ready for this at all.
See, that's the thing, man. Like, we were just talking about One Piece before. It's just the animes these days require so much commitment. And I'm just a little shonen boy. I'm just a little guy who likes a Cowboy Bebop. Give me, like, a small batch and I can run with that.
I'm currently wearing a straw hat right now.
Yes, true.
And
the JoJo tank.
The other day.
You're sweating it out right now.
Yes. Hot and glistening.
Hot and glistening.
Yes. The other day, I am officially caught up with the One Piece anime.
Clap it up. That's an achievement. That's a milestone. Like, y'all might not know, and it's like, hey, when is this guy gonna get to the news? Don't worry about it. We're gonna get to it. We're doing a little different today. Okay, all right. I wanted to talk about anime. We're gonna talk about some other shit too that I want to talk about. All right, and we're gonna get to some food. But yeah, congratulations. Do you feel accomplished? This is like an Everest level event.
It's a mixture of, yes, accomplishment and like numb almost.
Not numb. Not numb.
Hear me out. It's not enough. It's never enough.
It's never enough.
1,108 episodes is not enough.
And how do you feel about technically now? You know that the ending is composed in the author's head right now. Like, you know? Do you feel good about that?
Yeah.
I would.
It's just in it for the adventure.
I would like to see the end of the enclosure. That's always me, you know?
But as soon as that gets revealed, like in either manga and or animation, like it's all ruined almost.
Do you think?
Yeah, because they're just going to be like, oh, here's the One Piece. And then they realize what the One Piece is.
I wonder, because I think seeing Boruto, I think that you can continue it in the same situation with like Super, like Dragon Ball Super, where yeah, there's a hollowness to it, but you can always go back to these characters, to the IP, and continue it, you know? And who knows when we actually get there with One Piece. I'm just, you know, doing future sight here.
Well, hey, it's just the friends we made along the way. It's the whole...
Yeah, I think there's still a value in that, no matter what.
And
I think people will like to pick it up, because I have my qualms with like the Boruto and Super, etc. But I still like it. I still think it's cool. I still fuck with it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
One Piece is just definitely hits different.
I feel it.
As what you call a forever dungeon master, it just also helps with...
Forever DM, I like that.
Yeah, like no one else will do it.
Someone has to. It's like the Mercy, you know, someone has to do heals.
It's a thankless job.
Someone else. I thank you, sir. I admire your work.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna do a little segue here. We're gonna talk food. I gotta talk food corner.
Hell yeah.
You eat anything good recently?
So today, sorry.
You're fine.
Earlier,
Time's flat circle. It's all relative.
Oh god. Earlier today we had Cafe Anma.
Ooh.
It was just a like Mediterranean brunch place.
Okay, nice.
They had like this Pride Month mimosa flight.
Ooh.
It was. I did not consume that.
But still, it's nice knowing that exists. So peep that if you want to go check that out.
Yep.
We're not sponsored, by the way. We just like talking about food and shit.
This one is like the restaurant is in. There was 9 of us, which was not.
Gang, rolling deep.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta roll for brunch, though.
Yeah.
It's a mob. We're here to get unruly.
That's true. 100% true.
Yeah.
Their coffee was good. Where is this place again? Montgomery Road. What is that area? It's right next to like the Gaslight Cafe.
Yeah, it's approximate. It's fine. They'll figure it out if they want
and
to get
Goodfellas.
There. Oh, dude, I love Goodfellas. It's my favorite pizza place.
I had a slice the other day.
Oh yeah.
So good.
Mm.
But the last thing like I uniquely cooked was like this. Technically, it's palak paneer because it's all spinach.
Okay.
Sog means like mixed greens.
Oh, okay. Oh, I've seen that word before, and I was like, sure, sounds good, looks good.
Yeah. And then the Vitamix just like really blended up. Like it blended up like my blender is really good, and it's just like too soupy.
Yeah. Sometimes something does too good, you know, you grind it too fine.
Which was fine. Like I am unfortunately what you call an onion hater. It's just like
you hate onions?
Yeah.
I did not know that you hate onions.
It's
interesting.
Like, it's too much for me. Like it's just way too pungent. It's like a mixture of pungency and texture.
I feel you.
It's just bad on my personal palate.
This year, my wish has been granted to the fullest. I have in my kitchen now red onions and white onions, and in full supply, and I get to put them in everything. And like I can literally smell it coming out of my pores now. And I'm like, I'm that guy. I'm the onion guy. I'm an onion knight to the core now, and I don't really hate it. I'm not gonna stop because I love onions. I used to hate them. Well, I love them. Also used to hate tomatoes, now I love tomatoes. I usually do this with foods. Yeah. So, you know. Let's see. For me, what have I been eating? What did I eat last night? It was Friday. So that's pizza day for me.
Pizza day.
I had some Domino's. I got a little weird, as I like to do. I had a whole olive pizza, because it's like 2 mediums, $6.99 each. Can't beat that deal. One was green olive, black olive, with tomato, like marinara base. And then the other one was beef and mushroom with a barbecue sauce base. So yeah, that worked out. It was pretty good.
I do love mushrooms.
Yeah.
Mushrooms are always like a surprise hit for me. It's like I never crave them, and then once I eat them, I'm like, why do I not eat this more often?
It's funny. Like, sometimes I love them when they're presented to me. Other times I'm like, I wish this wasn't here. Like, I don't know why. Sometimes I was not digging a mushroom.
Maybe the texture
It's really the texture. It feels flat sometimes. It feels like it's a filler, like a cauliflower.
Some advice when it comes to cooking.
Okay, give me a pro
that I've
tip.
learned.
Give us a pro tip.
If you,
Andy Sama.
like, you chop them up like normal and throw them in a pan.
Yeah.
And you kind of like, no oil at first. Like, you dry cook them.
All right.
Because
get them raw.
Mushrooms retain a lot of water. And like, if you just dry roast them, and like, if you saute them in oil, it's just gonna suck it all the way up.
Okay.
But if you just dry roast them, it like releases all the water. And mushrooms are very, very forgiving.
Okay.
It's really hard to overcook them. It takes like a literal hot minute.
All right.
So you dry roast them, add an oil later.
Okay, that makes sense.
Like
that's why I assumed you were going to get to that. Just let it kind of ooze out a little bit of liquid.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then it just like retains like a better balanced texture. Chef Jong Kung on YouTube.
Okay.
That's who I want. Or Instagram. Like, he's on all the platforms.
Yeah, he's social media.
Yeah. He is.
Content creator.
He's awesome.
Hell yeah.
At least I learned that from him.
Hell yeah. Pro tip. That's free. You can take that with you. All right. Now we're going to do a little segue again. We're finally going to get to it. The newsies. I know you guys can finally eat. Let me go ahead and do the startup. Feel free to take one with me. And then we're going to get into some real news. And I'm going to level with y'all. The first half, it's heavy. We're doing true crime win, true crime right the fuck now. And then we're going to lighten up. So Andy's ready. I'm going to get ready, and then we'll get to it.
It was pretty spicy.
Oh, yeah.
I felt that hit.
Good. We love to see it. We love to hear it. All right. Our first story comes from The Independent. Wife of accused plastic surgeon prepped her own anesthesia before fatal operation. Now, this story, it drew my attention. One, it's a Florida story. That's already like a big, like, okay, what
Red
happened?
flag.
Yeah. Red flag. Who's dying? And then two, it was giving big, like, Nip Tuck vibes, which was a show that I didn't watch too much, but I was always enthralled by the characters and like, oh, wow, plastic surgery, intrigue, drama.
Yeah, there was Nip Tuck was not a show I delved into.
It was a little heavy. It was a lot of sexy sex and sexy people and knives. And I just didn't add up for me at the end of the day. But I was like, I get this show. I feel this show. But this felt like real life, Nip Tuck. The wife of a Florida plastic surgeon who died on his operating table had prepared her own anesthesia before surgery and had taken a handful of multicolored pills, according to a state report. Benjamin Brown, 41, was charged with second-degree felony homicide and manslaughter by culpable negligence. He turned himself in to police on Monday after a warrant was issued for his arrest on Friday. Brown is being held in the county jail pending his bond hearing. Let's skip ahead a little bit. Hillary Ellington Brown, 33, had suffered a cardiac arrest and was taken to a hospital where she was later put on life support. She died 7 days later. An autopsy into her death is pending. Let's see. She was going under the knife for muscle plication, abdominal scar revision, bilateral arm liposuction, lip injections, and ear adjustment procedures. So that's a lot. And I mean, not even to knock her. She seems like a very, pretty woman, whatever. But like, it's being that she's like already with a surgeon, she probably already had work done. So it's like, okay, this seems like a lot of work to get done already. It seems like you're good, but like, I mean, hey, go off. Once again, if I'm at Hot Topic getting my extra jewelry, you're getting your extra food equipment. Mm-hmm. Who is she to not get her extra slice?
I feel like it's tattoos you can't stop, maybe.
Exactly. It's kind of like that. This is your Pringles can, and you just like, I just can't stop. That's actually a bad reference to the last thing. There was a guy who was putting his own feces in Pringles cans and then throwing it at a women's victims group. for a prank.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he couldn't stop either. Anyway.
All men. All men.
All men, dude. I too would go with the bear.
Oh, bear any day.
Dude, for sure. But here's where it takes two, and we're talking why this isn't like full on like murder and it's manslaughter. She also ingested a handful of multicolored pills, including Valium. Shortly before the procedures, she began experiencing symptoms.
Valium?
Yeah, Valium. Yes.
Valium.
Yeah, I say it a little funky. She began experiencing symptoms relating to sedation. When she went into the operating room, Brown administered additional anesthesia without being able to verify what his wife took, according to a report obtained by Ware TV. Also, I think that there's just no documentation along the way of any of this. They were very off the book about it.
Yeah,
it's a big no-no.
Big no-no. And kids, if you're listening, do not mix those drugs.
Yeah.
And if I'm the one who had to tell you that, I'm glad I told you.
It's better late than never. Glad you're still here. But hey, once again, we're full of free tips today.
Especially like stuff like Quaalude. I work in pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, pharmaceutical drugs drugs are no joke. Like,
yeah. Especially like if she's getting like Valium like that, like those are pretty spicy.
Yeah, and I guess like in her head, maybe she's like, I've been a part of maybe like so many of these procedures. My husband has whatever. Like, I'm just gonna do this to take the edge off. Then he was like, well, I'm gonna give you this dose of anesthesia that you need, and no one is taking any account or record of the mix of drugs in this woman right now.
Yeah.
You know, as she's going under the knife.
Yeah, that's just the fault of her.
It's both, where it's like, you're the doctor, you're the husband here. Yeah. Like, you're supposed to be leading the helm, and you're not keeping track of it. You're not asking her, what did you take?
It's very unprofessional.
And now, we're going to get to this point, his wife told him that her vision was becoming blurry, and she saw orange. She also experienced restlessness. Seeing orange, like a filter is over your eyes. She said that to him. She also experienced restlessness, muscle twitching, and blurred vision, which is common symptoms of toxicity. You're a doctor. You're supposed to know that.
And stop.
So exactly, and stop. So this is where, for me, he's at fault here. Like, I kind of came in thinking almost a little bit of sympathy.
Total malpractice. Yeah,
dude.
I agree.
You know, like, you're like, oh, you were just going to do a little nip tuck for your little wifey, and that's fine. But it's like, no, dude, you guys were both very sloppy. Mm-hmm. The doctor then continued injecting drugs into her face. According to the report, she became unresponsive and started to seize. Another milestone here that's really dark. A medical assistant, because they weren't doing it alone, asked Brown if they should call 911, and he said no. In the next 10 to 20 minutes, the assistant again asked, and he said no or wait. Brown began to panic and requested that his assistants bring him supplies, including an oxygen tank and stethoscope, but the employees found it difficult to find the items. That's a problem in a medical facility, which I'm going to go ahead and just kind of skim ahead. This man was already had his license on suspension for doing like bad surgeries, bot surgeries in a bad environment, not sterile, not clean. And so he was doing like surgeries off book, or saying like, hey, I am not supposed to do this surgery, but I can do it. I just don't have my license.
Yeah,
you know,
it's Florida,
and exactly, so Florida.
It's DeSantis.
And people just want to get their BBL. They want to be BBL drizzied, and they just want to get it done. And it's like, I don't have to go to Mexico. I can just work with you. All right, Mr. Brown. And then there's even a story here of someone getting a botched surgery, and like it's fucked up their life. And you know what I mean? And that's someone who's living, at least. But like, damn, it's crazy that this guy this whole way was like, no, I'm not stopping. We're going to do this shit. And then he freaks out. And then he finally asks, what medication did she take? What did she take? And it's like, dog, it's too late.
You do that before, during,
yeah. Like, when she was saying orange, you should have been asking those questions.
This is I just like thought of this. Like, I worked at a clinic, research clinic, where GI and stuff. Mm-hmm. So they do, like, hot take, trigger warning, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I probably should have said that before, but, you know it's bad. It's dark out here.
Yeah. Better late than never.
Sure.
So you would know if like you have to prep for like colonoscopies that they
Yeah.
do there.
Mm-hmm.
They would know if they didn't prep for it.
Yeah. It's obvious.
I've heard like it's not just obvious; it literally blows out of proportion.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift.
It,
Like
I think the pun is intended. Yes.
ugh.
Whoosh. Yeah.
Take the stuff you're supposed to take beforehand.
And take it seriously. Take it so seriously. And this is why plastic surgery for me is a very like cautious thing. It's something I take with very a lot of trepidation. I don't want to ever yuck anyone's yum. If you want to change your body, mod your body. I'm a guy covered in piercing and tattoos. So, like, cool, I get it. No one should say you shouldn't do this or you're crazy for that. But you should be very careful. And the big thing for me is there's always a risk going under the knife for a surgery, right? Mm-hmm. It's just there's no free cost to that. Not to mention the amount of money you got to pay. So, the fact that I could go under the knife to, like, get my Giga Chad chin and then die in the process... I'd rather just be flabby and fat or whatever. It's just not worth it to me personally, you know? So it's hard for me to get to that thought, to get to that place to be like, hey, I want to do this surgery or that surgery because I want to look like handsome Squidward because I just don't care that much.
I want to get Chad chin.
Do you? You look good. You got a good chin. Yeah, you're good.
I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
I like to think so.
You're a handsome Squidward.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move on. Obviously, you know, R.I.P. and yeah, I guess you can say in a way justice served, but you know, it is what that is. Another Florida situation.
Hard story.
But yeah, from Florida to Texas, I realized that.
Oh God. And we're in Ohio, so that's the triumvirate right there.
Dude, yeah, Ohio really does take the cake in more ways than I'd like to admit. This story is from the Irish Star, which I have to add sometimes when I get something from like a shoddy site that I just got it from a shoddy site, like it's like the New York Post or something like that, where it's like
I've never heard of this.
You know, it's some obscure thing, but they had the story and I couldn't look away once I saw it, so here we are.
And then sometimes I like see like if I'm just like dozing through like Facebook,
yeah,
or, like just other like if you're on Internet Explorer at my work, which like the MSNBC, like different articles pop up and it says the Western Journal. I was like, okay, that's right coded, especially like the West.
Yeah.
Like, ew.
Yeah, it's amazing what you'll find. Sometimes I will check them out just to see what the spin is, what's the propaganda. But like other times it's like, hey, if they're just reporting on local news, then I can just run with that. I'm fine with that.
Sure.
So this was a doozy. It cost someone an arm at least. Juan Morgan.
Really?
I did it.
You did it.
I had to.
You'll find out, children.
Juan Morgan Munoz, 31, was discovered with an entire arm in his car passenger seat following a fatal hit-and-run accident. It has been revealed by police. This resident from Texas, who is already on probation due to previous DUI charges, reportedly hit and killed a pedestrian on an early Saturday morning whilst being under the influence. According to reports, Munoz, who consumed alcohol, contacted authorities about half an hour after the accident as he was heading towards his workplace. That's crazy that he had the foresight to be like, oh, I fucked up, man. Oh, fuck, man. But I mean, police.
Sigh.
Yeah, police officers were astounded to discover a hole in the passenger windshield and an entire arm on the front passenger seat of Munoz's white BMW, along with traces of blood. Another reason why I would never want a white car, because what happens when you run over a pedestrian and get blood all over it?
Try your best not to do that, please.
Yeah, I will. I'm not an American Psycho.
I unfortunately do drive a white car.
Do you? Yeah, you do. You do.
And my house has like a lot of foliage.
Yeah.
And, like there's just a lot of pollen.
I was gonna say spring's gotta be crazy for you. Yeah.
Like
it's like a torrent.
A few weeks ago, it was like really bad, like pollen torrent, and then just like a lot of bird shit on my car right now.
Ugh, yeah, dude.
And I was like, I just washed this.
Yep.
God damn it.
And you'll do it again, squawk.
I love my car though. Hot take.
Amen. It's a nice car. And white's a solid color. It's a lot to maintain. And
it does look like a stormtrooper, which I was a big fan of.
Hey, there you go.
And is a pretty decent like Star Wars fan and all, but So, arm.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted. Another weird thing I didn't like about this one is they like did like random combinations of other stories to like make it a whole story for you, and I'm like,
yeah, so,
I don't want to do that. I don't want to cover these other people. I just wanted to cover the guy with the arm.
well, yeah, with like ADHD issues I have, I put it on a like. You take like the article and put it on Speechify, where it just reads it to you, and then it's reading that story. Like when you
Oh, it almost makes it feel like a little ticker moment. Yeah.
yeah, and then it goes to like another article. I'm like, what the fuck? And then it just like you have to like skip it to the other paragraph.
I don't like that. I don't like when news things like they're doing too much cramming. I understand it, but
not even the ad blockers can save us.
yeah, but sadly, there's not too much report. They don't even have the identity, at least as of reading this article, of the person who died. I mean, I assume this person is not alive. So, yeah, I mean, this is very unfortunate. Yeah, however, the identity of the victim brutally killed in the incident remains unknown. So they just have the arm, and I imagine they have the body, and
Maybe
they just haven't revealed it yet.
Yeah, or just maintain anonymity.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't want to think
Or maybe
too much
like
about
this
it.
sussy article just didn't get the rights to.
Maybe, who knows?
That's
But
probably it, honestly.
I guess the last thing we'll say about it, his blood alcohol count was more than double the legal amount, legal limit. So,
Christ.
I mean, I'm not surprised that you're
No.
that drunk
if he's
and
that
then
tarnished.
yeah, because you'd think running over someone like that in that grievous of way, like a Grand Theft Auto character, that you would stop and be like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Nah, he had to sober up, go to work, and then be like, oh man, there's an arm in my car.
Yeah. Just a one-man army.
On that, we'll move. We move. All right, to the good shit.
Yeah, to the fun.
Yeah.
stuff.
I don't. What is this from? Cover. It's like super small box. Why would you do that? Anyway, get ready for Tasty Terminator. Scientists create edible robots. And the picture that we have here, I'm pretty sure I have it in the thumbnail. It almost looks like a Connects creation.
Yeah.
And or like a carousel.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Yeah, and it's cool looking, but it's cool that you could literally eat all of this. European scientists,
Semi-edible.
Yeah.
Or totally edible.
yeah,
apparently.
dude. European scientists are breaking new ground in robotics by creating edible robots. While a tasty Terminator may be some way off, the RoboFood project, based at the EPFL University in Lucerne and led by Dario Florinio, director of Laboratory of Intelligent Systems at EPFL, aims to create robots you can eat. This may seem like an odd ambition, but the benefits could be numerous. Robotic food could reduce electronic waste, help deliver nutrition and medicines to people and animals in need, monitor health, and even pave the way to novel gastronomical experiences. Gelatine can replace rubber. Rice cookies are akin to foam.
That makes sense.
That made total sense once I heard that. Now, this one was kind of interesting. A chocolate film can protect robots in humid environments, which I would think would be counterintuitive because in, like, humid conditions, my Hershey chocolate is going to melt.
Yeah,
But
when my dumbass puts it in my pocket.
dude, I've sometimes, like, had something in my fanny pack, and it's like, no, dude, it's still, like, right next to your balls, bro.
Literal hot take.
Like, those Twix have become one. Let's see, what else?
I eat Twix wrong. Like, I just bite the whole thing and not break it.
I mean, whatever, man. I don't care if people eat Kit Kats in block formation.
I know
like,
other people are cringing hearing that.
But do what you got to do. You're a survivor.
I live for the cringe.
You exist. You are free. And let's see. And mixing starch and tannin can mimic commercial glues.
Yes.
So you could be having a robot au chocolat for dessert one day soon. These and other edible materials make up the ingredients for robotic components. So I thought this was pretty fucking sweet that there may be a situation where I'm lost on an island one day and they say, Isaiah, no worries, we're going to send you a gingerbread drone. And they fucking send me said drone and I eat it like, and I live.
It helps break the coconuts first and then...
Dude, that'd be sick. Or the funniest irony, because I'm an American and they would probably be Americans helping me, they probably send me like a Big Mac on the edible drone and I can just eat it all
Hell yeah.
down to the bag.
Yeah.
That's a future I actually would not mind living in.
I'm delving, like, just reading, like, more into this. Like, this was, like, really interesting. Like,
I thought it was really cute.
a lot of things, like, make sense, especially, like, the gelatin. And
Yeah.
especially, like, with the rubber aspect. And, like, the rice cakes, I think, make perfect sense, especially for, like,
Yes.
things being biodegradable.
Mm-hmm. Because that was...
But if you're doing gelatin, that still requires, like... Well, there's vegetarian versions of gelatin.
Yeah.
Or at least, like, it mimics it. But that's still, like, coming from an animal, which is... You gotta slaughter it and whatnot.
Yeah.
But... It's biodegradable.
Exactly. Like, I was thinking of the waste factor here, and that's really cool. I was also thinking, though, would I want to eat a dirty robot because it's going to be doing all the crawling or walking or flying over to me? No, probably not. But if I'm in a desperate situation, then, like, at least I can. And the fact that, worst case, it's going to degrade. It's going to rot away and not be a waste. So I thought that was cool.
And who knows, like, the duration of how long it'll last.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say I automatically have this thought because AI is shoved up my ass every fucking day. I can't escape it.
It's a little insufferable. Just because
It's nauseating.
it's so easy for them to churn stuff out.
Yeah.
AI, quote unquote, AI.
Machine learning, really. Yeah.
It's an algorithm.
Exactly.
That's all
it's
is.
old algorithm or new algorithm talk.
Yeah. It's just all it is. It's not the cybernetic, what's the Terminator? Well, yeah, it's not Terminator.
Tasted Terminator.
Yeah.
But I will say, I did have the fever dream thought of, like, gingerbread men, like, controlled by Skynet, and they like go and attack us like small or tiny soldier. What's the Toy Soldier style? I can't remember the fucking movie. With the toys that attack and they all and they're sentient. The audience knows, and they're fucking
Small soldiers.
Small soldiers, dude.
A classic.
We could finally get there. But it's gingerbread men. I would love that.
Take these gumdrop buttons.
Dude, we made it. We did it.
You look like Lord Farquaad.
Boom, 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 boom. They just fucking kill us, dude, with their edible gun, dude.
Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
God, that'd be the best, like, Shrek spinoff. Oh my God. All right.
No.
we have one more thing to cover before we let you go. I'm gonna take my last break, and we'll go ahead and get into it. And this is some cool shit to me. Some Land Before Time ass shit.
I love it. Rauch the Kraut, as the Germans say.
Duh. Or yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like with the J, though.
Well, he said. All right. Our last story comes from ABC News. New horned dinosaur species discovered largest and ornate of its kind ever found. We're talking big dinosaurs.
Giant.
Fucking colossal. A new giant horned species of dinosaur was discovered that researchers said is the largest and most ornate of its kind ever found, according to a study published Thursday in the journal PeerJ. Fossils of the dinosaur, which has been named Lokiceratops rangiformis. I guess you got to say the whole thing, like a pimp named Slickback.
Yeah,
but
it's just like what's that called? Like Lunarian? No, go on. I gotta think.
He's like, I gotta find
the Latinized name of creatures,
right?
That just makes it like way more complex than it needs to be. But it just kind of stuck. For biology.
Right. I know it helps for the nerds to classify it. But I think the name literally translates into Loki-like dinosaur that also looks like a caribou. That's essentially what it means. So I'm like, hell yeah. Like that makes sense. Because when you see the horns of it, which I have in the thumbnail, there's a picture that you can look up of the actual like reformation of the skull. But like it has like two horns that are a little bit different, and then it has like spikes, and then it has like almost like a caribou like, I guess, anatomy to it. But let's see here.
Very sparkly.
Yeah. I love the art. That took me back to like the old like dinosaur encyclopedia. I'm like, man, I want that on a t-shirt.
Where the things have definitely, quote unquote, been discovered more over time.
Yeah.
Or at least Paleontology is interesting.
Yeah, it's cool that they found, like, this was actually found in northern Montana. But, yeah, the skull and partial skeleton were unearthed on private land in Kennedy Coulee in the Badlands of northern Montana near the U.S.-Canada border. Ooh. Lokiceratops belongs to a group of horned dinosaurs known as cetropods, or I'm looking cetropotids, whatever, which evolved during the late Cretaceous period, about 92 million years ago, and survived until the end of dinosaurs. So they hung out. They held strong. Researchers said Lokiceratops was a plant-eating dinosaur that lived in the swamps and floodplains of present-day Montana around about 78 million years ago, and is cousin of the infamous Triceratops. Let's see. Lokiceratops is estimated to have measured 22 feet long and have weighed about 11,000 pounds. This makes it the largest herbivore in its ecosystem, and at the time it was alive. So it was a big boy, very endurant, really cool looking guy.
Just like me.
There you go.
Aww.
Do you have a favorite dinosaur? I think for me it's the Brontosaurus or whatever, the long neck.
Yeah.
You know, that was my favorite.
I mean,
just because it was like fucking Littlefoot from Land Before Time, and that was like vibes for me. T-Rex is also very cool.
Velociraptor. Like,
dude.
I know.
Yeah,
like,
Velociraptor.
It might
cool.
be mainstream.
Who cares? Who cares? They're dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's
true. You don't have to like the weirdest one. Like, come on, dude.
I mean, they're all cool.
Yeah, exactly. They're all cool.
Speaking of, like, just real quick, about, like, Velociraptors.
Yeah.
There's a amazing, like, roller coaster at Universal Orlando
nice.
called Velocicoaster.
Ooh.
It is, like, my favorite roller coaster.
Does it fuck? Is it cool?
Sir, it fucks.
It fucks. Hell yeah.
It's fast. It's, like, all over the place. Like, it is a monument of engineering.
Any loops?
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Well, not loops.
No loops?
You go upside down a lot.
Okay, that works, yeah.
But, like, it's one of those, like, LSM, like, linear synchronous motors, which are, like, these magnets that, like, propel you forward.
Oh, yeah, you get shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're, like, a bunch of, like, launching coasters. Like, you're in, like, the station where it, like, you're about to be, like, chased with, like, velociraptors. Like, the first half is just, like, being in the wilds, and there's, like, statuettes of velociraptors that look like they're going to attack you.
Ooh.
There's some, like, near miss areas that you feel like you're about to get your, like, head chopped off.
Yeah.
It's very thrilling.
And you're like, meow.
The second half, like, you go through, like, this straight area, and it launches you, like, 75 miles an hour, just like, and you go, like, up what's called a top hat, like, straight up, and then straight down.
Ooh.
And then, like, the second half is just wild.
That sounds crazy.
You want to check out, like, a video, like, eventually, like,
I might have to look that up.
In your free time. Like,
yeah, dude.
That's just another, like, engineering nerdy.
I do like rides
dinosaurs.
like that, because, like, Final Fear is kind of like that in the beginning, where you just get shot, and I like that. That's
and then
very fun.
There's Maverick at Cedar Point, and now Top Thrill 2 at Cedar Point, which is unfortunately down. I can nerd about roller coasters.
Hey, you come in right on time. We literally just talked about a guy getting hit by the Banshee the other day.
Yeah. So. There's a reason why you don't enter.
Exactly. I said that. I literally said that. You just don't do that. Like, you leave it to them. You file a report. And you probably don't get it back, dude. Sorry.
I would hate to be, like, the person who was, like, on the ride.
Yeah.
Like, how traumatizing would that be?
Yeah. They said that it sounded like they hit a deer.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Like, they might have even, like, saw it coming. But, like,
I didn't think about that. Fuck.
I love the Banshee, though. That's my favorite coaster there.
It's a solid ride. I was saying I hadn't been in a while, but let's bring it back around.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. This was a good tangent. I do not mind. This is what you do in a podcast. The skull bones will be permanently displayed at the Museum of Evolution in Marabou, Denmark, while a Denmark, the Danes, they can't even handle their goddamn spicy noodles. While a reconstruction of the skull with a full-size sculpture will be displayed at the National History Museum of Utah in Salt Lake City for the next 6 months. I guess it's a fair trade. I don't know. Call me being a possessive American, but I'm like, if you discover this shit on our fucking land, we should be getting first dibs.
That's a freedom dinosaur.
That's a freedom dinosaur. That's a freedom Lokisaur. Lokiceratops, excuse
Loki's
me.
American now.
Loki is American, brother. Yeah. He's like the Skarsgårds. We own them now.
Oh, God.
Do you know the Skarsgård has a podcast?
No.
One of them? Fuck him. I said it. Yeah, I said it. Fuck that shit. That's not fair. It's not fair. Anyway, let me not be a hater. I know we're at the end. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about? I know we were in the preamble. We were ranting about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. And
I'd be remiss if we didn't close out talking about a thing that we liked and cared about.
If you don't know, there's the new Assassin's Creed Shadows, which takes place in feudal Japan.
Yes.
And
about time, I say.
Yeah, seriously. Like, this is like we go like Middle Eastern back in 2007. They're like, cool. What if there was one about ninjas?
I remember being in forums about that shit, and then like we just never got there. We went to Italy, and I was like, what?
Hey.
It was good. It was good.
So there's like all this quote unquote controversy.
Yes.
Because one of the main characters you play is a guy named Yasuke. Yasuke was a samurai who is African. Gasp.
But how can you have a brown man in Asia doing that? That doesn't seem historically correct, sir.
So the racism that I've just seen.
How have you gotten a Negro in my Asian video game? I just wanted to play with the Asian lady. Where are my Ghost of Tsushimas? And like getting the Discord right, discourse right,
textbook, but way more racist.
Oh yeah, they want to say the N-word so bad.
It's awful.
They just want to say it.
So these chuds are just like hating on it for that reason.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, why can't you play like an Asian person? Well, there's one right there.
There's one right there.
I guess these chuds just hate black people more than women.
It just bothers them that that's a thing that's happening.
It's this whole like DEI. Like,
yes, they think that this is a reason for them to be upset.
Look, it's a grift, honestly.
It gets them clicks and attention. It gives them something to talk about. That's fine. I actually, a little bit of an aside here. Just kind of talking about social media. I shared a post a couple days ago about Juneteenth. It was the chair thing.
Okay.
And I've
yeah
the
hat, the calling.
And since I've kind of gotten a little bit bigger lately on social media, I've noticed an influx of people now who treat me like a meme page, and that's where they want to do discourse. And brother howdy, I've never seen so many AI generated things, so many people talking about statistics about how black people are criminals and trying so many ways to say the thing without saying it.
They keep saying like, oh my god, the people of Japan hate this, and in reality like they don't care.
They either don't care or they love it. It's either
they're just like there's this like one chud that actually went to Japan asking like random Japanese people like what they think of the trailer, and like hinting like, there's a African samurai. How about that? He was like, oh, that's
cool.
I'm not really too big into Japanese history, like as a Japanese person. Like, not everybody knows every corner of.
Someone's like, hey, I'm not going to be an anthropologist. I'm not going to be a Dan Carlin.
Not everyone's like as weeb as I am,
and that's okay.
Yeah.
We're all allowed to be different, even if we're in a country where it's like, I don't know everything about America. I don't plan on it.
But, like, watching that trailer and the gameplay trailer for the new one, it's so weeb.
It looks very cool.
I love it.
It looks really good.
It's everything I want, and it made me cry.
I really hope that we at least hit the bar of, like, some of my favorites. Like, I played up until Black Flag. So, like,
Black Flag.
Flag was so good to me.
I
love that one.
Origins right now,
Hell
actually.
Hell yeah. It's one of those things where, like, I will always respect the series. I think they do deliver. It's just one of those things where it can get formulaic. Yeah. And that's my only problem with the game.
That's Ubisoft.
Exactly. That's Ubisoft. But even when I'm playing, like, Grand Theft Auto on, like, you know, the campaign mission modes or whatever, it can get a little stale. That just happens. No matter how big the world is, when you're on certain rails, it can kind of get a little, like, boxy.
And graphics-wise, those games are gorgeous.
It looks great. It looks great.
And, like...
I'm very excited
I'm
about
just power playing through, like, all of them, just doing, like, the main missions.
Yeah.
And, like, if I'm under level.
Oh, that's another thing. I always tell my friends this, and now that we're in the bowels of this, and we'll segue to the last part of the Assassin's Creed thing after this, but, I always hated after around the main arc line of it when we got to the aliens part of Assassin's Creed. Sorry if it's spoilers or whatever. Yeah.
They're more ancient human beings. Like
Forerunners
they're
or whatever.
called the Isu. Yeah, Forerunners is a good one, but they're not necessarily aliens.
Right.
They're more just higher beings that
this was for me personally in the storyline where I got turned out, where I was just like, this isn't as much as what I liked. I liked that we were gonna make Desmond a like real true to form assassin via the Animus and like
the bleeding effect.
Yes, I thought that was gonna be cool and lead to something, and it just led to something else, and I was kind of like, oh, okay.
Like the main person, Patrice Désilets, he was the head writer of the first and second Assassin's Creed, along with like Prince of Persia.
That makes sense.
So he had like the main story,
really
and then
good.
just like people delved through that.
Yeah.
It did just like lose its pizzazz over time because like
a little bit of the luster got lost
at like time of it. Like Witcher 3 was the game.
Oh yeah,
and it tried to recreate that style a lot more with just like some light parkour effects.
Yeah. But you're not fucking with the Witcher on story. Witcher delivers.
So good.
But that's another thing. Last thing I wanted to talk about, since we're on the vein of Assassin's Creed, you and I are both Magic card nerds. They are going to do the Secret Lair. How do you feel about that? So far, I don't know if it's all spoiled or released yet on that.
I question a couple of the... This is just me nitpicking.
That's fine. You can do that here.
I question a lot of like the color alignments for a couple of the
it does seem a little weird from what I've seen, like almost like slapdash in a way that I've noticed that they're kind of want to do with some of these Secret Lair things. Like when I saw Fallout, I didn't like how they did Kaiser. I was like, why is Kaiser Mardu colored? He should just be Rakdos or like whatever. That was my personal thought. But like
some are spot on, I'll say.
Oh yeah.
But like
some they nail, some I feel like a little bit
For example, Rahato Haketon or Connor, he's Esper. That doesn't make sense.
I get what you're saying.
I think I kind of agree with Black-ish, and I kind of agree with White.
But I could see him. I could see him Teamer or something.
Abzan.
Oh, okay.
Because like he's a ranger.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah, and Rangers actually fit for that Khan's aesthetic when you were doing like...
Because he should be technically like...
I can see that.
Human assassin scout is what he should be. But like others, they kind of fit. Arno is Rakdos from Assassin's Creed Unity.
I think the universe is so big. It's so big.
Yeah, and you're getting like a lot of like actual historical figures mixed in with like that are now in the Magicverse.
Dude,
CMCs,
it's so crazy. The Fortnitification of Magic the Gathering is 110% at this point.
I don't know if like I've been way out of Magic though for a hot minute. Like last time we played was at my birthday.
Yeah.
That was the first time I played in like 2 years.
You're saving a lot of money.
Spending it on other things.
Hey, it's got to go somewhere. Well, all right. I feel like we covered it. I feel like we said our shit. Is there any plugs, anything you want to, close out on?
Plugs.
Anyone you want to thank? The mamas, the papas? Anyone, you got a YouTube? I don't know, man. You got a TikTok?
I delve into a lot of YouTube.
Anyone you want to plug? If there's any like honorable mentions, say like, hey, you should look up this guy or person.
I watch a lot of Vosh.
You like Vosh? I love Vosh. I'm not the biggest Vosh guy personally.
I love him.
I think he's definitely capable of making some good points.
Yeah.
Other times I'm like, I don't know why you took that line, but I get where you're coming from because I will listen to some people, like news people, and I'm like, oh, I like you here, here, and here. I hate that take, but like overall,
no one's going to have like 100% of your
Exactly.
take, sure.
No one's going to be perfect. I'm sure I piss off a lot of people when I say some of the crazy shit that I say.
Yeah.
So, I get it.
I really like Vosh, and there's this other guy named Xander Hall.
No, I haven't heard of him.
He's a lefty YouTuber as well. He just delves more into like the culture war stuff. So.
Okay, nice.
And he just is like the grifting on the grifters, I guess.
Hey, there you go. That's a symbiotic relationship I can appreciate.
Yeah. So he feeds off them and then just like debunks everything that they throw at us.
I do like that because honestly, that's not something I do personally. Like, I really don't like going at it with people. I don't like going through and being like, oh, cool, I see you got the statistical data. Let me go through and like literally show you how those numbers were lying to you because they were just like manufactured numbers. I hate doing shit like that with people. I hate having to go bar for bar with people. It's so obnoxiously long and tiring.
Yeah.
So that's not my style, but I do appreciate the people that do it.
Yeah,
I think it's a certain kind of work.
It's a podcast. Like quote podcast.
Yeah.
Like I'll download their 30-minute YouTube videos
Nice.
on my phone because I have YouTube Premium.
Yep, me too. Gotta beat those commercials.
Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah.
I listen to that just because like I have no cell service in my office, so
Yeah. That's when the downloads are good.
yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
I just like have it on the background, and I just live in my own world there, which is nice, but it also drains my brain.
Yeah.
Another
Squid
person
rot.
people should listen to is a guy named Jax Blade.
I haven't heard of them
He's
either.
a fitness YouTuber.
Oh, okay.
That,
a little
like,
fitness in there.
It's
I like
fitness
Pop.
with anime.
Ooh, what a combination. Okay, nice.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense when you like watch him and whatnot. Like he's really good. Like I talked to him personally as well about like
Nice.
training and stuff. Mm-hmm. He has like over 500K, I think, subs.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, he has like any type of he has a series called Tough Like the Tunes. So it's like a workout program regimen for said character. Like
Oh, work. Yeah, so you can be like Saitama. You can be like Yusuke
Exactly.
Urameshi. Cool.
exactly. Well, it's more like Zoro, Sanji.
Yeah, newer
Korra.
people. I made it for me.
Korra. He has one for Batman. He has this whole ab workout that's based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's just like you get like the shell abs that they
Trying to
have.
be a hero and a half shell?
Yes,
Dude. Maybe I have the belly for that. I don't know.
you're the hero of your own story.
There you go.
That's
I
his,
like
That's
that.
his motto.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Those are some good
Or
plugs.
you're the badass side character who needs like a spin-off series.
You got to get some love for the support character. For the Krillins of the world.
Rock Lee,
Dude. Hell yeah.
he was done dirty. I
Always,
think.
always. But I guess for me, I have my usual plug. Let's see, patreon.com/Isaiah News. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. And, hit a subscribe button or a follow button. Leave a comment. Sharing's caring. Hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.